Hey family, you all need to come down to the Hidden History Museum on Saturday, October 4th, 2025 for the Funny Fall Fest Comedy Mixer. It's hosted by Tariq Nasheed and Dwan B, and there are going to be some of the funniest comics in the game performing that night. This is the place to be. I've got a full evening lined up just for you, starting with a complimentary dinner, pop music, followed by a night of non-stop laughter. It's going to be popping for real. You don't want to miss this night of food, fun, and comedy at the Hidden History Museum. Get your tickets now at hiddenhistorymuseum.com. See you there.
I'm no longer musty. I'm no longer musty. Hey, I'm no longer musty. Hey, I'm no longer musty. I got my real work on. I'm no longer musty, 'cause I got my real work on. I'm no longer musty, 'cause I got my real work on. I'm no longer musty.
All right, we in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We are indeed in the building. All right. What's good with you? Let everybody know that we're indeed live. Hold on one second. I'm putting this up on my social media. Hold on. How y'all living? What's going on, man? I hope you guys had a good week so far. Everybody give me a retweet. That would be phenomenal. If you guys can give me a retweet, ladies and gentlemen, that would be absolutely phenomenal. And let me throw a couple of more things up on that social media. And then I got two more things to put up. Hold on, y'all bear with me one second. Y'all bear with me one second. Let me throw these up and then we'll be really good to go, fam. I promise you we'll be good to go. I need everybody to give me a retweet, though. Everybody give me that fly retweet. Let everybody know that we are indeed in the building. All right? Ready to chop up great game as we always do. Hope you guys can see me pretty clearly, ladies and gentlemen. I got one more thing to post up, and then we'll be really ready to rock out, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me that retweet and let everybody know that we are indeed live. And by the way, you can get your tickets to join me this coming Saturday, October 4th, at the Hidden History Museum. We got the Funny Fall Fest. It's going to be off the damn chisel. It's going to be a packed house. We got a great time. We're going to have a great time. It's a private event. So you guys got to come on through. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. You got to RSVP by getting your tickets online because it is a private event. So you got to RSVP, and you do that by going to hiddenhistorymuseum.com and getting your tickets. And everything is going to be complimentary after you do that. So it's going to be a nice vibe, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Shout out to everybody in here. We're getting more crazy. Yes, indeed. Man, a lot of stuff is going on. There's a lot of stuff going on out here in the media. Man, there was a shooting this week in Michigan at like a Mormon church. And first, there was another shooting yesterday in North Carolina at like a restaurant somewhere. And these suspected white supremacist males, I mean, they're running amok out here, ladies and gentlemen. These cats are running amok out here in the damn streets. It used to be like every few months, then it became every month, then it became every week. Family, now it's getting every day. Have you noticed how violent these suspected white supremacist males have been just this month alone? They've been busting on each other like crazy, busting on their own community with the Charlie Kirk thing. the ICE detention center down in Dallas. Oh, there was a right around Charles the Charlie Kirk thing. Remember, around the same time there was a school shooting. Somebody shot up a school. These guys are running amok out here. Now in North Carolina, this dude shot up a bunch of people. Now today, this guy shot up a Mormon church and shot a bunch of people. And the right-wing white supremacists, boy, they keep trying to flip it and talk about the left, and all of that stuff is backfiring. They can't sit up here pointing their damn finger about somebody violent. That whole deflecting to Chicago stuff, that ain't gonna work. You know? All that deflecting to Chicago, that's not working. That looks absolutely ridiculous at this point. Yeah? So they got to do some internal reflecting on what's going on within that community. See, that's been the problem. They've been sitting here deflecting on us for so long. Again, that's what, when Charlie Kirk got taken out, he was about to deflect on us. So, boy, the white supremacists, boy, they're taking L's left and right among each other. Yeah? But anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Speaking of them taking L's, the FBI director, Kash Patether, the FBI director, let me get the article up so I can be right and exact on what he said. He tweeted something about Assata Shakur. All right, hold on. Let me get the actual article, because our good sister Assata Shakur just transitioned. Okay, I'm going to TMZ. Or I can do Complex. There's a few of them. So as FBI Director Kash Patel, I call him Kash Patether, tells the public not to mourn Tupac's godmother, Assata Shakur. FBI Director Kash Patel is warning Americans against romanticizing the late Assata Shakur, Tupac's godmother, by calling her a terrorist whose death should not be mourned. In a fiery post on Sunday, Patel referred to Shakur by her birth name, Joanne Chesimard, and rejected any suggestion that she was a freedom fighter. He suggested that she should be remembered as the FBI has long categorized her, a convicted cop killer who didn't fight for justice. He said, she murdered New Jersey State Trooper Werner in cold blood, then fled to Cuba to escape accountability. The FBI never stopped calling her what she was, a terrorist. Mourning her is spitting on the badge and the blood of every, of every cop who gave their life in service. Okay. Let me actually show you guys the tweet. I'll do that too. I'll do you one better. I'll show you guys what the tweet looked like. Hold on one second. I will show you just to get the visuals in there. All right. So where's the tweet? Where's the tweet? Okay, here's the tweet. Let me actually show it to you. The Kash Patether. All right. So this is the tweet. So they got all the mug shots of most wanted terrorists and all that. Let me tell you something. The FBI, ladies and gentlemen, the FBI feel like they took a major L with Assata Shakur. That was a major L for for them with Assata Shakur. And they look at that as a major L for white supremacy, because white supremacy is supposed to be godlike. It's supposed to be infallible. You understand? It's supposed to be the zenith, the pinnacle, the end-all, be-all. And Assata Shakur showed that that wasn't the case. Assata Shakur lived a full life, and Assata Shakur is a hero to many people. And a lot of people are looking at the FBI as hypocrites for even posting that. I want y'all to understand, this is the same FBI, ladies and gentlemen. This is the same FBI that had a program, the COINTELPRO program, that was against black activists like her, trying to fight for justice, trying to make sure the Constitution was going to be applied equally to people regardless of race. The FBI, they ran an illegal domestic terror organization operation called COINTELPRO. That was criminal within itself. Under J. Edgar Hoover, with his moist, racist ass, the FBI, they operated COINTELPRO. That was a domestic espionage campaign that illegally targeted black citizens, civil rights leaders, the Black Panther SNCC. They used illegal surveillance, forged letters, perjury, frame up, blackmail, assassination plots. They violated the civil rights of black people. They violated the Constitution. And then they want to talk about justice and what's not justice. They created COINTELPRO. It was designed to prevent the rise of a black messiah. I want y'all to understand this. See, those declassified memos from the FBI shows that J. Edgar Hoover's goal was to prevent the rise of a black person who could inspire and mobilize black Americans. That phrase alone shows how the FBI viewed black leadership. He viewed black leadership and black unity as a national threat. Our existence was criminalized. See, the real fear was black empowerment. It wasn't violence or crime. They criminalized the existence of black people, and the black people fought against that. You understand? Well, let's put this thing in the real context. We're talking about, this is the same FBI who sat here and orchestrated the murder of our good brother Fred Hampton and others. But the Fred Hampton that was a dirty ass assassination. They got this man and had him drugged. They got one of their damn agents. They got one of the agent provocateurs to infiltrate what they were doing, which was feeding the community and organizing and getting people together. They had this man drugged, and while he was knocked out asleep, the race soldiers went in his home and killed that man when he was asleep in his bed. You understand? Working with the damn Chicago police. And the FBI's, their own documents confirm this involvement. So, I mean, they got blood on their hands. And that energized, really, the Black Panther movement even more after Fred Hampton was assassinated. But also understand that the FBI, man, they framed Assata Shakur, many other activists. They framed them. They sat here instigating beefs with different organizations, creating fake organizations to entrap people in the community. That's what Tupac's mother was going to trial for. They had this old informant ass Eugene Roberts who had infiltrated Malcolm X and other people. They used Eugene Roberts for a lot of organizations. If you look at those images of Malcolm X when he died, that old agent ass Eugene Roberts up there giving him mouth to mouth. Everybody, man, when Malcolm got killed, there was so many damn agents and undercovers in there. Damn, half the people in that room was a damn agent. It was. We talk about this in the new movie, by the way. You understand? And again, going back to Tupac's mother, the Panther 21, when they went to trial, the reason why they were acquitted is because there were a bunch of FBI informants and undercovers who infiltrated the organization, and they were the ones talking about, yeah, we need to blow up some police stations. We need to plant some bombs here. These were informants doing that. And Assata Shakur successfully said, hey, man, some of these people who were plotting all this stuff, we've always believed that they could possibly be informants. So yeah, it was your people trying to entrap us. We didn't go along with that stuff they were doing. Yeah. So it's deep. But I want people to understand, Assata Shakur, she's a symbol. She represents resistance against state violence. You know? Her legacy is rooted in the fight for survival against the system that tried to erase black liberation movements, and the FBI is a part of that system. So do they really have a moral authority to really define who's worthy of honor? The FBI, man, they've done egregious things to black society, innocent black people. FBI, they've never issued a formal apology or offered any restitution for the dirty-ass COINTELPRO program that we know about. It still goes on. They still do the same thing. They still send agents and provocateurs among us all the time. We still deal with their agent provocateurs. We still deal with them. We deal with the undercover cops and all that stuff. We still have to deal with them. They're still around. You think COINTELPRO ended? Look at all the stuff that we try to do constructive and all of the weirdos who come around trying to undermine it. Come on, man. Some of these people, they might as well walk around with a bat. Yeah, Bucci Bear. Somebody mentioned Bucci Bear. And, have y'all seen Bucci on No Jumper? Bucci basically admitted that he was a cop. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see on No Jumper? You know, we've been saying Bucci has been a cop for years. And now that he's been on No Jumper, and again, my conjecture was that they brought him on No Jumper because the feds are watching, so they need somebody on the inside with all their damn shenanigans. So a lot of people are putting two and two together who've seen Bucci and his antics, and we're talking about Brandon from No Jumper. And again, I took him to court and told the court, this is a cop. I told them in court, I said, hey, this is a cop. He's doing all types of harassment. I'm getting my self-defense together, all right? Just for the record, this suspected cop that's lurking around our businesses and all that shit, trying to do all that COINTELPRO stuff, I'm getting documents on him. You know? Somebody said I got spots on my shirt. This shirt is designed like that, Kevin. But on No Jumper, all those cats are kind of put two and two together. So everybody's saying he's a cop. People have kind of figured this shit out. Everybody's kind of putting two and two together. So what he did, he basically admitted to being a cop, but he threw some troll shit in there. They were like, somebody was like, yeah, we got some documents showing you were a state trooper. Yeah, I was the cop of the police. You know, I used to plant drugs on people. You know, he mixed in some troll shit, and that was by design to kind of muddy the waters, because this is what's that. Some people are like, if this dude is a cop and he's in there setting folks up, somebody's going to have to circle around and say, okay, we were entrapped. No Jumper did some entrapment. Somebody can get him for entrapment. So technically, he admitted to being a cop, so that will save No Jumper and him from any lawsuits from somebody saying that they got entrapped by law enforcement. He can say, well, I admitted to being a cop. You know? He just going to get up there and just, technically he admitted to being a cop. Now he'll circle back and, I was just playing. No, he's admitted to being a cop. Yeah, like when my suspect was up there, Bucci was talking all that bullshit, and the suspect was going to run a fade with him, and Bucci jumped up doing all that cop shit. He has a knife. It's a black knife with gold trims on it. That's when everybody was like, what the hell? When he did that old cop ass shit, that's when everybody kind of really put two and two together. This dude spit on him, about to beat him up, and Bucci jumped his fat ass up. Oh, he has a knife. It's a gold knife with little trimmings on it. It's about 8 inches. And everybody's like, what kind of shit is this? So everybody kind of put two and two together with this fool, which we've always said this dude was a cop. So they're trying to cover their backs now with Bucci's fat ass. Again, every time somebody try to run a fade with him, he comes up with an excuse. He comes up with some real weird excuse, and he's running around here oiled up with booty shorts on all the time. Then he's talking about he was a Crip, and everybody's like, this motherfucker don't do. I was a Crip. I was with the 20s Crips of Long Beach, which is horse shit. And everybody's like, nigga, you weren't banging in Long Beach. What the hell are you talking about? So yeah, they're trying to cover their tracks over there in No Jumper. Hey, look, there's a reason why everybody got, all them people got hit with Fed charges connected to No Jumper. Everybody got hit with Fed, and then this big fat idiot is up there. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, they were trying that old entrapment shit with me. I took his ass to court. I don't know, because what they do, they'll try to instigate stuff and have you crash out on them so that they can put charges on you. I saw that shit from a mile away. I said, oh, no. I'm about to get a paper trail on this fat, damn cop-ass Fed nigga. Yeah. So they don't like that because I exposed his ass years ago. And everybody's putting two and two together. So everybody's saying this fool is a cop. And he's running around here, getting beat up. They punching him and socking him. He got beat up there at No Jumper. They had a little boxing match and they knocking his fat ass all around on the floor. I tripped. Let's run it again. I tripped. Then they boxed again and they knocking his fat ass out of his shoes. Just a hot damn mess. But anyway, I digress. Like I said, the Fed game is real hot out here, man. The Fed game is real hot out here. And listen, Kash Patether, him talking about don't honor Assata Shakur. See, that's part of an ongoing war on black legacy. See, Patel and the other people at the FBI, they're using their platform to shame people who praise Assata Shakur. And that's a continuation of COINTELPRO. You know, they're always trying to erase and discredit black resistance history. And the fact that they're still obsessed over that sister 40 years later, that shows how powerful her legacy was and how fragile white supremacy remains when it's challenged. But it's ironic, they're telling us to not honor the legacy of Assata Shakur when the dominant white society, they honor real criminals all the time. White criminals, they honor them all the time. Yeah? Oh yeah, go look at the Bucci Bear episodes. I mean, the Bucci Bear episodes, it speaks for itself. Just look at the Bucci. If y'all, go look at the Bucci Bear episodes. Yeah? Go look at those. The Bucci Bear cartoon. But like I said, there's a double standard here. Black resistance is criminalized because, again, the Assata Shakurs and people like that, they were fighting for a greater good. They were fighting for real justice. White criminality is romanticized. I want y'all to understand the dichotomy here. See, when black people commit certain acts that's tied to political resistance and survival and self-defense, they're called terrorist thugs. Man, you had white criminals like Bonnie and Clyde, people like that, Machine Gun Kelly, John Dillinger. These people robbed banks, killed officers, strictly for money. They weren't doing it for shit, but for some damn money. But they portrayed them as, boy, they romanticized the hell out of them. They were rebellious lovers. They were so romantic. They took on a life of crime, holding each other's hands in their hearts. Stop. They're misunderstood anti-heroes. Boy, they really glazed them, man. Oh, Hollywood just glazes the white criminals who weren't fighting for nothing but money. They were fighting for selfish reasons. Oh, they do Hollywood movies like, they get De Niro to play Al Capone, the Untouchables. They make them all stylish and sexy and cool. They won't do that for George Jackson and the Black Gorilla family. They ain't gonna do that. They're all one-dimensional radical threats. They don't make them all nuanced and lovable characters. You know? See, White criminals, they rebrand them as legends. Like John Dillinger, he killed federal agents, escaped from prison, but they act like he was some kind of Robin Hood. He wasn't no damn Robin Hood. He was stealing for himself. Yeah? Yeah, white criminals, boy, they're giving style, swagger. They looking cool. Oh, they got charisma. Yeah? But the black ones, boy, they're dangerous, terroristic. See, black liberation fighters, they're judged by the system they fought against. Yeah? The white criminals, they fought for themselves, and they're treated like sex symbols damn near. And see, whiteness grants the white criminals historical forgiveness. Well, they were a product of their time. Yeah, Al Capone, he was a struggling Italian from a struggling Italian immigrant family. Bonnie and Clyde and John Dillinger, it was the Great Depression and people were desperate and they had to do what they had to do. Oh, we get a lot of splaining to the violence that they caused and the crimes that they did. You know, they're tourist attractions. That's Al Capone's house. Oh no, with black riders, they don't do that. You get incarcerated, slandered, long after your damn death. Yeah, black rebellion is unforgivable. You know, white crime, see, they rewrite that as folk culture. Black resistance is treated as extremism. Yeah. See, a lot of these people, they were fighting for the community. See, these black revolutionaries, you know, they were stealing, organizing, and they were fighting not for personal gain. They were fighting to defend the community, to feed families, to fight oppression. Them Depression era white outlaws, they only fought for money. They just killed people for money. They were killing cops left and right. They didn't give a shit about no community. They were all about getting money for themselves. Yeah? So they play this game. They glorify the mafia. They love glorifying the damn mafia. They make little movies. Oh, Casino and Goodfellas. The Sopranos. They make all these little cute movies and shows about the white mafia, the Italian mafia. Family, as we know, under J. Edgar Hoover's FBI, J. Edgar Hoover never even acknowledged the existence of the mafia. Do you know that? J. Edgar Hoover was in the pocket of the mafia. He never even acknowledged their damn existence. He publicly denied the mafia even existed for years. Now, the rumor was they had some shit on him. There was rumors that they had pictures of him with his bussy spread because he was a big old queen. You know, J. Edgar Hoover was a big old sassy queen. His nickname was J. Edna Hoover. He was a big old punk. Oh yeah, we going to the Old West killers. Yeah, the Billy the Kids and all of these people. Those two. We can go into them too. They've always glorified the white killers and outlaws. But with J. Edna Hoover, with his little old sassy self, he didn't even acknowledge the existence of the mafia. Only time I think he kind of hinted about the mafia in 1957. Y'all know there was a big meeting up in the Appalachian Mountains, up in New York, upstate New York somewhere. And there was a meeting with in 1957. It had all the top mafia leaders there, and the local police raided them. And then it became a big national story, and that embarrassed the FBI. They're like, hey, all these criminals sitting up here organizing drugs and crime and guns, and you didn't know about this? Oh, well, you know, we might have heard something. It might be a national crime, but we're going to have to look more into it. Yeah? So they were doing a lot of splaining. But Hoover damn near protected the mafia to a certain degree. He damn near protected them. You know, when Robert F. Kennedy, JFK's brother, he was the Attorney General, I think in 1961, I think he started to aggressively push the FBI to go after organized crime. He was the one saying, hey man, we got these people out here who's slinging dope, they got guns, they slinging drugs all over the place, and it's very organized. They did that in 1961. A few years later, his brother, JFK, got hit. Many people believe that the mafia was involved in that. All right? A few years later, when did Kennedy get hit? Was it 63? It was 63, right? Yeah, they got him. And a lot of people believe the mafia had something to do with that. There were a lot of things going on that was pointing to the damn mafia. All right? When Robert Kennedy was cracking down on organized crime, they didn't like that. Also, with Fidel Castro, they were supposed to have had a deal. The mafia had a deal with the U.S. where they were supposed to help take out Castro. And the CIA allegedly had enlisted people like Sam Giancana and some of these other mafiosos to help assassinate Castro. But JFK called off the operations, from what I understand. So the mafia lost money and influence in Cuba because the mafia wanted to do some stuff in Cuba and kind of get a stronghold there. Then this dude, when JFK got shot by allegedly by Lee Harvey Oswald, this dude who was connected with the mafia, Jack Ruby, ran up and shot him. So he silenced him. So it was a lot of mafia coincidences there. And then J. Edgar Hoover starts shutting down all the mafia leads. And everybody was kind of asking questions about the mafia. Like, hey, man, what's going on what's happening with these dudes? So J. Edgar Hoover was shutting that stuff down. So a lot of people believe he was kind of protecting the mafia, even after the Kennedy's assassination. And here's the thing. Think about this thing, man. Think about this. These dudes had a sitting president shot in a crowd, broad daylight, with live cameras rolling. It was on, I think this was streaming. Was it streaming live on TV? I think it was streaming live on television. You shot a sitting president live on television in a crowd, broad daylight. Nobody ever went to jail. Think about that. Nobody went to jail for John F. Kennedy's murder. Nobody. You understand? So that's some inside shit right there. You understand? That's some inside stuff. If nobody went, you couldn't get an associate, his cousin, somebody who sold nothing. Nobody went to jail for killing a president in Dallas on live TV in broad daylight, and nobody went to jail? Shit. Hoover knew something. Hoover's ass knew something. Yeah, that was a cover-up from the damn top. Yeah, if nobody goes to jail for doing that shit, that's a cover-up from the top. Yeah? You said streaming, you saying live streaming didn't exist back? Okay. Man. But going back to our good sister, Assata Shakur. Now listen, Assata, they're talking about she shot this guy. There's no, looking at the evidence, Assata didn't shoot that police officer. Looking at the evidence. And look, even before that case, Assata, they had the COINTELPRO program against that sister. They kept trying to go after Assata. Assata was being drugged in and out of court for years. They kept trying to pin different crimes on that sister. Of 1971, they tried to pin a bank robbery on her. She was acquitted. There was another bank robbery in Brooklyn. The charges were dismissed. Then they said that she was a part of something where they kidnapped a heroin dealer. Those charges were dismissed. There was some other cops in New York got shot or whatever at a Manhattan hotel. She was acquitted for that. They didn't identify her. They kept trying to throw these crimes on this sister. Any crime that happened with anybody who seemed like a black militant, they would drag that sister in. Yeah? There was another bank robbery in the Bronx. The jury deliberated for 30 minutes and acquittal. So they were really trying to get this sister, and she was beating them. They were dismissing the charges, acquittals, dismiss, acquittals, just over and over again. So they were already trying to frame Assata Shakur. Let's put everything in context, okay? Because a lot of folks don't know this. Let's put everything in context. So when she got pulled over on that Jersey Turnpike for a busted taillight or whatever, many people believe that she was being targeted then. Many people believe that was about to be an ambush on her. You dig? Many people believe that was about to be an ambush. And she got shot during that. She got shot, I think, around this area, which suggested that her hands were already up. So she was surrendering. She didn't have anything in her hand. She didn't have anything in her hand. They didn't get any ballistics evidence on her. There were no fingerprints on any weapons. There was no gunpowder. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. She didn't shoot this man. But they tried to pull this thing, well, the cop died, so you were there in the capacity of a crime, so you're going to be charged with a murder. Because she had a co-defendant. Somebody else, the Zuri Malik, I forgot what the guy's name. It was somebody, I forgot the other guy's name. One other person with Assata got killed. Another brother, Sundiata Akoli, he went to prison. There was a co-defendant, he went to prison. He never claimed that Assata fired a weapon, and he actually got paroled a few years ago. He was like 85 years old, and they paroled him. He got paroled. Sundiata Akoli. So he was there with her, and from what I understand, they suggested that the cop might have been hit with friendly fire from other cops because it was a shootout. Other cops came in shooting. So there was no evidence that Assata shot that police officer. But again, when they did the trial, they made sure to they pulled a semi-valley move. They went to like one of these all-white counties, and it was an all-white jury. And they were doing things like they had snipers and all types of stuff in the courtroom. They were portraying her as a dangerous terrorist, and they had guards and all this stuff, really treating her like a foreign terrorist in the court. So, you know, these white supremacists on the jury looking at that, oh my God, you know, it was that type of thing. You see? And they wouldn't let her use a political defense because, you know, they wanted to bring in the fact that she was targeted by COINTELPRO. So, you know, they convicted her, put her in prison, and they got her on up out of there. They raised her up out of that damn prison. She bounced around the East Coast for a couple of years, and then they got her over there to Cuba. Yeah? So, with Assata Shakur, the FBI, they got a bug in their ass about it because they used every tool at their disposal. That sister withstood all of those criminal trials, the murder trial, just trial after trial. She stood tall against that, got out of jail, went and lived free in Cuba, died and passed away on her own terms. And despite the media smears and the trumped up charges and all that stuff to try to imprison this sister, it didn't work. It just didn't work. And they feel a certain way about that. You understand? That most wanted label, that backfired, that elevated her to icon status. And that was they made her the first woman ever to be on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list. This was after the events. And that was musty-ass Obama who did that, by the way, too. Yeah, that was under Obama, the head tether in charge. Yeah. But that brought her renewed global attention and support from the younger generation. And despite the FBI's efforts, family, I mean, that woman, she died on her own terms, unbroken, unapologetic. And she didn't die in a prison cell, and she had to get out that prison. She knew in prison, they were going to kill that woman in prison. She knew that. They were already targeting her. She knew they were going to try to kill her in prison. That's why they got her up out of there. So that Majora spirit protected that woman. She was protected by the spirit, family. She lived to old age, surrounded by people who respected her. never publicly recanting anything, never broken, never got co-opted. And that alone, that's a major defeat for a system that prides itself on psychological and political domination, family. And the cultural and political impact of our good sister, man, it outlived the FBI narrative. You know, they're revering her as a freedom writer. You know, there were movements like Black Lives Matter and even Pan-African organizations, freedom struggles around the world. Her poetry is quoted. Her autobiography is studied. Her name lives on in activism, art, resistance. While the FBI, their version of her story, ain't nobody believing that bullshit. Don't nobody trust you guys. Like, she's becoming larger than the propaganda against her. FBI, yeah, y'all ain't in good standing right now. Y'all sitting up here bullshitting about the damn Epstein files. Don't nobody believe your ass. Kash, Patether, nobody believes y'all at this point. Y'all have no credibility. Yeah? Zero. Now, and everybody, give me a retweet. We're in here deep. Shout out to everybody in here. We're in here deep. Now, family, I've been noticing when I do my Twitter space, a lot of non-FBA tethers be talking greasy about our good sister, Assata Shakur. A lot of the tether class, family, they're looking at the passing of our rider as an opportunity to tap dance for some butter biscuits. Boy, on my Twitter space, boy, we've had a couple of tethers call in trying to demonize our sister. And here's this one tether woman on TikTok who said this about Assata. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up, family. Let me get that. Let me get the visuals for the family. All right, this woman here. All right. So listen to this woman right here talking about she's not too broken up about Assata passing. All right, now listen to this right here. All right, hold on. All right, here we go.
I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not too broken up about Assata Shakur's passing because, A, I find it very ironic you pick an African name, you flee to a Latino country for asylum, but what the hell did you actually do for us? Assata Shakur...
Did you notice how, and when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, Lord, and I saw the septum ring. But when she said Latino, oh, the way she said that, I said, hold on.
I find it very ironic you pick an African name, you flee to a Latino country for asylum, but what the hell...
Yeah, that Latino, when she said that, I said, hold on. When she said that, I'm going to play the rest. I'm just going to slow walk it a minute. Latino, when she, okay. Wait a minute. We don't pronounce our words like that. That's now, Foundation of Black Americans. Yeah, we don't say Latino like, we say Latino. Well, Latino, we don't, okay, Then I saw, I'm going to go back to this video, but let me go to another one of her. This is her discussing growing up in a Latino household. From what I understand, she's supposed to be Haitian and Latina. Something. She's mixed with different forms of tether. There's a lot of stuff going on with this woman. But yeah, this is a video of her confirming her Latin household she grew up in. Hold on.
Another question that I'm tired of seeing in my DM, listen to me. I can't trauma bond with you regarding my skin tone. My skin tone was celebrated on the Latin side of my family. There are only 3 lighter skinned people on that side of my family. That would be paternally. Everybody else is my color or darker. I know you want me to make a story time. I don't have a story where I was shut up in a room, discriminated against, or spit on for being dark skinned in a Latin household. It was always celebrated.
Okay. And by the way, I'm just showing who she is. Now, this is what she has to say about foundational Black Americans, by the way.
Before we get started today, I want to make it perfectly clear. At no point in time is the FBA ever allowed on any of my social media.
Because, somebody told me that she's kind of known for making a bunch of anti-FBA videos. Now we see why. She's a tether. Okay, hold on.
Don't come here. Until y'all change y'all views and stop with that bigoted rhetoric that anybody who is not of so many years of American lineage does not count as a Black person or American, you're not allowed here. You're not allowed on none of my social media. If you put disrespect in my comments, 10 times out of 10, you probably will get it right back. Again, at no point in time is the FBA ever allowed on my page. Y'all are a Black version of the Klan. The only difference between y'all and the Klan is the Klan wear white sheets. If you were able, if you don't wear them already, your sheets would be black. The way y'all talk to the rest of us in the Black diaspora that you don't deem as Black American or that you don't deem as Black, period, is dishonorable, disrespectful, and disgusting. The rhetoric, the claims that y'all make trying to invalidate the rest of our Blackness is exactly why I don't want nothing to do with y'all.
Okay, just keep all this in mind.
Don't ever come to none of my pages, or you will get talked to the same way you try to talk to us.
Oh, and we don't care, ma'am. Okay. All right. So we're letting you know who she is and what she's about. She's always been anti-FBA. So this stuff about Assata Shakur, who's a foundational Black American hero, now you see where it's coming from. And this is why they've been checking her ass. You see, this is why tethers like this get checked. And evidently, people have been checking her for a while. Now we see why. But let me play the stuff about Assata, just to let you know what kind of tether we're dealing with here. All right? This is why delineation is the new wave, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. And then all this us and we Blacks, and no. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I find it very ironic. You pick an African name, you flee to a Latino country for asylum, but what the hell did you actually do for us? Assata Shakur was the self, much like a lot of those Black Panthers. That's why they were dismantled. You used the struggling and suffering of Blacks to further your own movement. And before you get all pissed off, let me explain something to you. A lot of y'all that are Black in this country, the Black Panthers, as radical and loud as y'all are, baby, you would not have been accepted. The Black Panther Party did not like anybody who was LGBTQ. They didn't care for anybody who was of a different background.
Okay. Man. This line tether, boy. The Black Panthers were riding for everybody, man. They stood up for every damn body. When they had that Stonewall thing up there in New York with the gay club, the Black Panthers were supporting them. They did support LGBT. There was one of the recruiters in the Black Panthers, Connie, what's her name? Connie Stewart. I think her last name was Stewart. Y'all know who I'm talking about? I think her name was Connie Stewart. She was one of the recruiters for the Black Panthers from 68 to 71. She was Jamaican. So they welcomed a lot of people. They didn't have a problem. The Latino community, they were rocking with some people in the Latino community. Boy, these tethers just be good freaking grief, boy. They just be lying like we don't know history. Boy, these folks be lying their ass off like we don't know history. This is why I don't like non-FBA people trying to tell us what our damn history is. Yeah, they had white and dude, they helped the Latino movement. The hell this woman talking about? They were helping all types of groups. They were helping the Latino movement. The Latino movement got really popping over here because of the Black Panthers, if you want to get real funky with it. Even though these Latin organizations were shitting on us, by the way, LULAC and all that, they were shitting on Black folks. Our Black organizations were standing up for the Latino community. So what is she talking about? All right, let me play the rest. Okay, hold on.
Like if you were not strictly Black American, they didn't give a fuck about you. So like I said, and then she killed a police officer. And the movement she was, what was it called? The Black Liberation Army or whatever the fuck, broke in prison, took some people hostage, and, you know, broke her out. She left in a van and all that shit, whatever. And then she fled to Cuba, but Fidel Castro granted her political asylum. And that's what I want to bring to attention. Now, you don't advocate for anybody black outside America, you know, but the Latino countries are the only place you can go for asylum. You didn't go nowhere that was primarily black. You didn't go to Jamaica. You didn't go to, you didn't go to Africa. Why the hell did you pick Cuba?
Okay, don't talk about Latino countries. No, a Latino country. Cuba. Because she had more political leverage with Cuba. Cuba was already beefing with the U.S. government, so she understood political leverage. She knew not to go to no damn African nation. Them dudes would have snitched on her ass the first day she got there. Yeah, there was no African nations that had it like that in order to protect her. That's why she didn't go. Fool, we ain't dumb. We know how to use political leverage. So she's trying to make this a Latino, like the Latinos did us a favor. No, it was Castro. And they were using their political leverage because there were a bunch of Cuban terrorists that were being harbored by the U.S. government. So the Cuba was like, okay, yeah, you got some of these people that launched attacks against us. We got your girl here and we're going to make sure she's good. So it wasn't about nothing Latin. It was about political leverage. All right? Don't let fools like this come in and try to rewrite some damn history. Hold on.
Well, because you know if you can't go nowhere else on this earth, Latinos will protect you. So at the
What? Where? What? The hell, what kind of lie is that? What? I gotta back up some more. What? I'm trying to see where that lie is coming from. Hold on. Wait, what the fuck is? Where did that lie come? What kind of lie is that? The hell is she talking about? You just lying. What? Where? You don't get protection in Latin countries. Hold on, let me rewind this lie back. Good Lord, what is these tethers just be saying shit? Hold on.
You didn't go to Jamaica. You didn't go to, you didn't go to Africa. Why the hell did you pick Cuba? Because you know if you can't go nowhere else on this earth, Latinos will protect you. So at the end of the day, it's sad she passed, but it don't affect me in no way, shape, or form. And I don't give a fuck what you have to say. Again, just because I'm black, Black Panther Party really didn't do shit for us either besides give underprivileged blacks the WIC program. And that's it.
Okay. See, this is why these tethers get checked. It was these black militants who was in the streets putting in work to get her tether family over here. Let me tell you about the Black Panthers, since you're so Latino, Miss Latino. In the Bay Area, where are my Bay Area people? In the Bay, and I'm old, my memory, let me dust my memory off. There was a case in 1969, I want to say in San Francisco. I know it was in the Bay. I think it was in San Francisco. There was a case of these 7 Hispanic kids who was accused of killing a cop, from what I understand. It was a major case. White society turned on these. They were turning on Latinos left and right. White people were not. Where are the Latinos? Get your asses in here. Let me talk to you. Latinos, get in here. Let me talk to you about something. Let me talk to the Latinos for a minute. The Afro-Latinos, whatever. Y'all got motion because of Foundation of Black Americans, the Black Panthers. In 69, you had these Hispanics. They were coming, some of them were from Honduras, different parts of Latin America, but they were up there in the Bay. They were accused of being involved in the murder of a cop. and they just started kind of rounding up kids up there. The case was called, they called the kids Los Siete de la Raza, like the seven of the race or something, but that's what they nicknamed it. Los Siete de la Raza. That's what the case was called. It was a big case up there in the Bay. White folks turned on the Latin community. They were like, oh, these Latin thugs, all these immigrants, oh, we need to get them out of here. Oh, white people was turning on your ass. LULAC couldn't do nothing. The Latin organization, they couldn't do shit. It was Huey P. Newton and the Black Panthers who stepped up and said, no, we're going to ride with them. Huey P. Newton was making his presence known, going to that court case. The Black Panthers paid for their damn legal defense. The Black Panthers, 1969, they paid like $25,000 for the legal defense of these kids who were Latino. $25,000 was a nice chunk of change back then. Y'all look up what I'm saying, family. I ain't just saying shit. Because of the support from the Black Panthers and the money of our organizations, those kids got off. They got acquitted. So that kind of put a battery in the backs of Latinos so we let them know you could stand up against oppression. You could stand up against the oppressive system. You can stand on business. You understand? And not let them railroad your kids like that. So what's the thanks we get? See, when you talk about black and brown, there's always some shit we doing for other people. And then we get a big pudgy tether like this talking about what we didn't do. Fuck out of here. Look up that case. The Black Panthers funded their damn defense. Y'all look it up. So this is how our folks was riding. We rode and we were putting in work to help all of these people. We said, hey, anybody who's oppressed, we're going to look out for you. Remember, it was Huey P. Newton and those guys going over there to China and Vietnam saying, hey, this ain't cool what y'all doing to these non-white people over here. The brothers and sisters were standing up for the Vietnamese and Asians and other people who were being colonized and a part of the imperialist targeting. They were standing up for everybody. You see, this musty Teletubby tether talking that greasy shit, that's why we delineate, family. Because we ain't going to keep stepping and stomping for people and then y'all sending your disrespectful ass tethers onto us. Somebody said, am I rocking an S-curl? Is my hair glistening? There's no chemicals in my hair. Somebody said, am I rocking? I think it's the lighting. And I was at your mama's house and she got some breast milk on my scalp. So it might be the shine from your mama's breast milk. Fuck out of here. But like I said, we've been riders for everybody. But truth be told, man, people like this, they have a bug in their ass about riders like Assata Shakur and people like that. They got a bug in their ass about that because I notice, and it's always some non-FBAs out here talking greasy about our riders. It's always them doing that. And the thing is, man, one thing you got to understand, they're performing for white approval. Let's be real. They're sitting up here openly criticizing Assata Shakur because they're auditioning. They hope some white people see it, so some white people give them some Candace Owens money. They're trying to signal to white people, hey, I'm safe. I ain't like them FBAs. I'm going to cooperate with you. I just don't want no trouble. I got my bonnet on and I'm ready. So they're trying to get a job somewhere. You know? See, that's why we're not letting all these non-FBAs run around here talking about that us and we and us and our. No. You ain't a part of that lineage, so you can't speak on that. And let's be real. People like her, they resent what they could never produce in their own homeland. They resent it. Assata Shakur, she embodied that revolutionary fire, that moral clarity that many of them tethers in their homeland, they lacked. You ain't got no resistant figures back where you fled from. That's why you had to flee. Instead of producing your own Assata, your revolutionaries were silenced, or they partnered with the colonial powers, or y'all asses fled over here with us. So a lot of these folks, deep down, they're ashamed and envious of what Assata Shakur represent, a foundational Black American woman who stood 10 toes down against an empire and won. Because the Tether's always running around telling us what they can't do. I cannot do it. I can't do nothing. The government, nigga, the government. Well, we go up against the government. We go up against oppression. And we stand up against it. See, they don't have that lineage of resistance like we have. We got a lineage of resistance that includes Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Frederick Douglass, Malcolm, the Deacons of Defense, Assata, so many people. And Assata birthed the Tupac. That was his godmother. That was one of the women who raised Tupac Shakur. Turned him into a cultural icon with the music game. You understand? So that culture of resistance and rebellion and confrontation, that's woven into foundational Black American identity. They are raised in cultures that teaches submission, silence, and fleeing as a solution. You don't understand the spirit and culture of resistance that we have. We instinctively understand it because we were born understanding the power of resistance. That's our culture. That's who we are as foundational Black Americans. This is why we can appreciate an Assata and other freedom fighters, because that's what we were raised in, and that's in our blood, that's in our DNA, that's in the soil here. You are raised in the culture of finding the best pair of flip-flops to get the fuck on from where your homeland is, and then come over talking shit while you comfortably chilling on some shit that we cleared a path for you to come to. Yeah? Because see, these people, they've been conditioned to align with the colonial gaze to a certain degree. See, a lot of these African and Caribbean societies, see, the colonial education system, that taught them to view Black revolutionaries as troublemakers and terrorists. So they look at things through the Eurocentric worldview. And then when they come over here, they bring that anti-Black bullshit with them. Yeah? And a lot of these people, they're just jealous of foundational Black American struggles that actually led to real gains. See, Assata, she wasn't part of a movement. Well, she was. Assata, our good sister, she wasn't about bowing down to the system. She fought the system all the way through. She was a part of a movement that helped push the United States government to change laws, to expose corruption, and globally shift the public discourse, ladies and gentlemen, on race and power. See, a lot of these non-FBAs, they try to mock foundational protest culture, but deep down they resent that foundational Black Americans, we force tangible change through direct resistance, through laws, everything. We actually help get laws on the damn books. You understand? These folks, when they flee to certain places, y'all don't change no laws. They don't change no laws. And I'm not trying to beat up on the non-FBAs. I ain't trying to do that. But we get laws changed. We get shit changed and put on the books. We got the 14th Amendment popping. I mean, going all the way back to that. We got the civil rights popping. We help get the immigration laws to act right. We have directly influenced laws in this country. Immigrants don't really do that. Let's be real. And what's interesting, you use American freedom to criticize American freedom fighters. See, the reason why you have the freedom to speak freely, to protest, to build a life, that's because of the groundwork that foundational Black Americans and Black American revolutionaries laid down. So yeah, y'all come from nations, you got to flee because the rebellion it's crushed and sold out. Then you come over here and enjoy the fruits of foundational Black Americans' fight, and then slander the very people who paid the price for your funky, musty freedom. That's what I don't like. Our riders, man, sacrificed their lives breaking out of prison, people getting shot, killed, so that we can all enjoy freedom. And then folks come over here and want to denigrate our people who made a way for them. I take offense to that. That's why people are on her neck and tethers like her, as they should. See, the legacy of Assata and others, see, that's a mirror that makes the cowardly tethers feel small. See, Assata's life, that challenges people to take a side. Either you're going to stand with justice and resistance, or you're going to fold under oppression. And a lot of these non-FBA critics, they're uncomfortable being reminded that somebody faced down the most powerful government in the world and didn't break. You dig? And this is why you have murals of Assata all over the world. They ain't got no murals of nobody. You won't get murals fleeing. Yeah, you don't get that kind of global respect. Ain't nobody holding you up as an icon when you running all over the goddamn place. And I'm not trying to diss the immigrant brothers and sisters. I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but y'all got to reel your folks in, because they get out here talking that bullshit, and then we're going to have to gently kind of remind them what the real business is. Yeah? Come on now. And they talk all that grease and talk all of that, those black rebels, they didn't do shit. Oh, they weren't shit. All these black Americans, y'all don't care about nothing. Y'all don't do nothing. And then the minute the ICE trucks show up, hello, FBI. Hello, niggas. Hello, FBI. Are you here? Hello. Hold on, let me call another nigga. Hello, FBS. Help us. The ICE truck is in the back. Then y'all calling on all the foundational black Americans. Y'all calling every damn body. When the ICE trucks show up, you calling every foundational black American you can find. Hello? Hello? Tina Turner? May I speak to Tina Turner? Hello? Is Al Roca available? Is Matthew Knowles? Can he come to the phone, please? Any FBA, I need somebody. Is Emmanuel Lewis available? Hello? Give him the phone, please. Y'all calling us. When they got caught up in the Ukraine, remember when the Ukraine thing jumped off? The war came and they were kicking everybody out and they didn't have nowhere to go. They couldn't even go home. They couldn't even go to their homelands. Their homelands weren't taking them in. They were calling us. Hello? Hello? Belle Biv DeVoe, can you come get me? Help us. Is Nick Cannon available? I need one of these FBA niggas to come get me. They were calling every damn body. Over here. They were calling us over here, trying to get some damn help. They didn't want to talk shit. Give me a break. Man, please. Anyway, hello. Willow Smith, hello. Help us. They're calling LGBT. Billy Porter, can you take your dress off and come get me? Ungrateful ass. Fuck out of here. Anyway, man, let me get out of here, man. Look. Y'all go get your, why is it hot in my office? Y'all go get your tickets, man, to join me at the Hidden History Museum this coming Saturday. We got the Hidden History Museum. We got the Funny Fall Fest. Oh, it's going to be off the chain. It's going to be popping. We're going to have some great food. The food is going to be a Creole theme. We're going to have wings, catfish nuggets, mac and cheese, red beans and rice. So it's going to be a Creole theme catering at the museum, complimentary food. It's going to be off the chain. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all need to come on through. This is it right here, the Funny Fall Fest. We got my brother Dwan B hosting. We got Sidney Castillo, funny comedian, Katrina Harris, Brandon Wiley, funny as hell. Larry Goodwell. We got the legendary Scruncho, very funny brother. So y'all need to come on through, man. The Funny Fall Fest, a lot of funny comics. Man, y'all know at the Hidden History, we have a ball at the Hidden History Museum. We have a ball there. And let me tell you something, I got a special treat for the guests who come Saturday. We got a brand new deodorant that will be on sale. You can buy the new fragrant deodorant only at the Hidden History Museum. You can only get it there. We're not putting it online yet. You can't get it online yet. This is too good. We got a new, damn, I should have brought it in here. We got a new scent for the Rootwork deodorant. We got a new scent called Majara Magic. This is so special. It's not even online. Yeah, Sidney Castillo is funny as shit. He's funny as hell. These comics are funny. We got some funny cats, man. We got some real funny cats this week, man. So y'all need to come on through. But yeah, we got some deodorant that's going to be on sale that day. You can only get it there at the museum. All right. Oh yes, we got some good Creole food. Oh yeah, we got it from Baja Grill. No, Bayou Grill. I said from Bayou Grill out here in LA. Black-owned restaurant. We always use black-owned caterers, but yeah, it was going to be catered by Bayou Grill, and the food is off the chain. It's a Bayou Creole vibe. The food is going to be good. I hope y'all don't get the itis, because I know last time we had Chef Marilyn. Shout out to Chef Marilyn. I love Chef Marilyn. That's one of my favorite spots. And Chef Marilyn brought so much food. And it's like real soul food. Boy, everybody ate that food and everybody got sleepy. Everybody got the damn itis. Vegan options. We're going to have like a little salad. We got red beans, rice. We got mac and cheese. So you don't have to eat the meat. So we do have sides that you can eat for the vegans. So we do have salad. We're going to have salad. We're definitely going to have salad. We're going to have red beans, rice, mac and cheese. Yeah. So it's going to be off the chain, man. We're going to have a good ass time, man. We're going to have a phenomenal time. Is it for women? Yeah, the women can. Oh yeah, the deodorant. I was like, I thought you meant can women come? Yeah, the deodorant. Yeah, women can get the deodorant too. Yes, the women can get the deodorant too, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. But anyway, man, let me get up out of here. Go to hiddenhistorymuseum.com. And yeah, while you're at hiddenhistorymuseum.com, get this book here, Hidden Heroes from A to Z. Hiddenhistorymuseum.com, man. All right? I'm up out of here, y'all. Puppy Akute.